mental health issues, and nerd culture. I am the ever disaffected K.
And I'm the double stacked Vesta.
Is that why you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I wrote DS in the outline because I didn't want him to know what it said. Double stacked. She's mighty, mighty, and she let it all hang out.
Ow, she's on brick.
Okay.
Ow!
Oh, my God.
Okay, so just to give y'all a little bit of a clue into what's going on this side of the mic, egregiously long story short, there's only been a couple days since we recorded the last episode that dropped and when we were recording this one. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, the government has not been fucking up enough for us to have anything to say.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And we can thank raggedy ass Mother Nature for that.
True.
Cause it's just like, anyway. So, like I said, our major political section is going to be effectively non-existent.
Pretty much.
I mean, you know what? We can save that for later on. You know what we can do instead? I was going to skip to the rapid fire, but I do want to mention this for a little bit because Anita Wall is fucking up as usual.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, President Anita.
Girl. Our sister, honey girl.
Ooh, child. Ooh, child. So, via the president's Twitter, said, and let me pull up this exact tweet, because I screenshotted it and sent it to Vesta because Mein Gott Himmel, it is so a picture from a Rasmussen poll about his approval rating has a whopping 50% approval rating.
Surprisingly. I mean,
it just said "working hard, thank you" is his caption for it.
It's just like you have an F.
I was gonna say, like,
that's
literally in every single academic.
It's an F.
Yeah, circle. Every single academic circle that you can think of, 50% is a colossal failure.
I would give colossal to like 30. So maybe that's where his mindset is. He's like, well, I might have an F, but it's an actual F.
I've got an F, but it's a high F. Ha!
Basically.
Huge approval ratings, huge. The best approval ratings any president has ever had. Just huge.
Huge.
Better than whatever China can do.
China.
Lord. We can keep going, cause like as always, I am ever flabbergasted at this president in general. Mm-hmm. Like, it is pathetic that he's proud of a 50% approval rating. Mm-hmm. But he's also screaming, "No collusion!"
You know, I'm reading this in the outline, and I really did actually read it like how you just said it in my head.
And of course this screenshot doesn't want to load clearly. It looks like somebody took a screenshot with a potato. The mainstream media... No, let me not. Let me not.
Red alert.
The mainstream media has refused to cover the fact that the head of the very important, very is in all caps, Senate Intelligence Committee, after looks like 2 years of intensive study and access to intelligence that only they could get, just stated that they found no collusion between Trump and Russia. Why is Trump in Hang on. Hold.
Did he put his name in all caps?
No, worse, I think. I'm making sure, cause I'm like, what? Oh God, is that really his pinned tweet is 50% approval rating? Oh, girl.
That pinned tweet changes every time something big happens.
I'm like, girl. Here we go. No, is that it? That is not it. Let me just stop boring y'all with just like me just mindlessly fucking scrolling Twitter, because I feel like my brain cells commit seppuku out of shame every time I visit his Twitter.
Isn't it just seppuku? Isn't that just seppuku? Not seppuku?
I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know.
It's seppuku.
Seppuku.
Why'd you say it like that?
Seppuku.
Ew. God.
Long
Sounds like
story.
a hentai. Okay, go on.
I'm not gonna
Stair climber laugh was always a good time.
I'm not gonna scar our listeners with my hentai voice,
No, we're not.
as tempting as it may be. Long story short, he's going on and on and on about how there's no collusion, it's a giant and illegal hoax, developed long before the election itself, blah blah
Illegal?
blah, crooked Hillary, blah blah blah,
Illegal?
lost the election, blah blah blah, except no, girl.
Illegal? I'm stuck there. He said a legal rumor.
And an illegal hoax.
I'm pretty sure hoaxes aren't. I don't know. That's a weird.
That's a pretty high level word for him. I'm surprised. Somebody must have been giving him his hooked on phonics cards this week.
You know.
The man doesn't read. The man does nothing but read his own tweets and snort Adderall.
True.
Like, I still haven't gotten around to watching the State of the Union either.
Not missing much.
Well, the thing is, I want to get around to watching it so I can see how many times he like backs away from the mic too.
You can see him do it, but literally anytime he's done talking, he steps back from the mic and then walks back up to it.
And
Like, it makes sense when he's like commemorating somebody that's like not facing, that's like not in front of him, but he literally does it every time he says something.
yeah. In addition, he is unambiguously praising a literal dictator.
Weren't they just like having a dick measuring contest like a while ago?
Didn't know they made rulers that small. But yeah, North Korea, and again, I'm reading his tweets. If I put random emphasis on words, it's because they're unnecessarily capitalized. Okay, is that sound? That sound is probably coming through the mic. Don't mind me, y'all, if you've been hearing some weird noise. It's because my cord keeps running up and down my zipper.
Is that what that is? So, so you guys remember I had to put a disclaimer at the beginning of the first one. I don't remember if I told you this, but I had to put a disclaimer at the beginning of the first episode because there was like a really low buzzing noise, only on your mic.
Interesting.
And it would go out sometimes, and it would come back in. I'm like, what the hell is that? So that might be what it. Mystery solved, you guys.
Anyway,
Go on.
so reading his tweets, if I randomly emphasize something, it's because he capitalized it unnecessarily. So, North Korea, under the leadership of Kim Jong-un, will become a great economic powerhouse. He may surprise some, but he won't surprise me, because I have gotten to know him and fully understand how capable he is. North Korea will become a different kind of rocket, an economic one.
A different kind of rocket. Economic one. I hate that. It's so ugly.
My representatives have just left North Korea after a very productive meeting and an agreed upon time and date for the second summit with Kim Jong-un.
Stop. It was so loud and actually made me jump.
What, are you mad because I'm reading? I'm just reading it as it is.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And you know the
Go
man likes to
on.
randomly capitalize.
Go on, please. Please.
Anyway, agreed upon time and date for the second summit with Kim Jong-un. It will take place in Hanoi, Vietnam on February 22nd, 27th and 28th. I look forward to seeing Chairman Kim and advancing the cause of peace.
I was expecting another, like, really loud word.
I was so tempted to do it, but I'm... Okay, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show before. The only time you will ever hear me getting anywhere close to defending Anita Wall is if somebody says something that is completely fabricated. The man fucks up enough on his own. I'm not here for, to use his word, fake news, about him, like actual fake news, not the shit that he's actually doing and doesn't want people to know about.
Right.
But like, I'll say, that didn't actually happen, right? Like, a National Enquirer says that Trump colluded with secret Antarctic mole people or something, something obscure, obnoxious, or something obvious like that. I'll say, no, for multiple reasons. But we can talk about the score of Russian hookers that piddled on him in Moscow.
Ooh.
We can talk about the sex worker he hired. That what was she doing? Was she like folding her laundry in her skivvies
I don't remember.
during some speech of his?
Yeah, I don't. Oh, was that fucking Stormy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stormy.
I forget when she did it. I know she did it for something recent, but I know it wasn't
Was it not the State of the Union?
No, definitely was not the state. Oh no, it was his like televised propaganda thing.
The State of the Union?
Before the State of the Union, he just jumped on to say something nonsensical and back away from the mic to.
But I thought that was the State of the Union.
No, this was either in December or January.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm just like, how are you literally praising a dictator? Mm-hmm. Especially of a country who has objectively smaller and weaker citizens. Because
a literal penis potato. Dictator?
Did you really have to do that?
Yeah.
No, I wholeheartedly disagree. We're also kind of short on AOC standing.
Yeah.
As much as I love her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's like my fave. Sidebar, we're not gonna really talk about Nancy Pelosi doing her sarcastic clap, because apparently afterwards she said that was actually like an actual genuine clap because he said something she agreed with.
Sure it was, girl.
Whatever.
We know.
But not much on the standing side of AOC other than her, calmly, clearly, and in layman's terms explain how you can basically buy the hell out of an election.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But, excuse me.
It's contagious. I yawn, you yawn.
Yeah. Anyway, but she laid that whole thing out in layman's terms, and the video is all over social media. I'm sure you can find it really quickly. But apparently, Netflix has picked up a documentary about her.
AOC? Already? She's alive.
There's a film about her called Knock Down the House that got bought by Netflix and is quite possibly, the most ever paid for a Sundance documentary.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I always associate documentaries.
Oh, it's not just her. It's about her and three other women from the Democratic Party.
Don't they usually make documentaries to people that are dead? No offense. I don't know. I always associate documentaries with people that are gone already.
Sure, there's more than a handful of Obama documentaries.
Yeah. It still doesn't make sense to me.
I wouldn't be surprised if Simone Biles doesn't have a documentary coming out about her at some point or another, because she is 4'10" of talent. And I still can't get over how tiny she is.
Right. Real shit.
But yeah, the movie's called Knock Down the House, and I can't wait to see. Oh, wow. The studio paid $10 million for the movie, estimated to be the most ever for a documentary from the festival.
Good lord. Oh, my lord.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, there's that. So, we're going... do you have anything else? Then we can skip ahead to our rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So...
Bang, bang.
Into the room.
I know you want it.
I see I had another thought for another Bang Bang reference, but...
What?
Bang, bang, shoot, shoot. Happiness is a No? Really?
I like my reference better.
Well, it's probably more skill in that, but...
Alright, thanks for joining us for another episode of the Ballwood Kids Podcast.
If y'all didn't catch on, I'm shading the Beatles. Anyway, so to our rapid fire, we can start off with with state police unions unanimously oppose cannabis legalization. Which,
Lit.
yeah. I'm not even in the same dimension as surprised. Much
Because
less.
they're going to be out of jobs.
Well, they're going to have less to do. They're going to have to, fight actual crime.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, what's so bad about it? Pot smokers. Fun fact: pot smokers generally have a lower spousal abusal rating than most police force.
That ain't the right sound. What was that?
Somebody not silence their technology.
No, my phone's off. Was that yours?
No, mine is like hella silent. Oh
All
well.
right, we're haunted. So,
Ooh.
okay, I think they're
Ooh.
gone now after you did that.
Ooh.
Okay, we're done. Can you?
Ooh. What?
You just blue barred that whole thing, and I'm not in the mood to edit it.
So, apologies to everybody's ears because I clearly think I'm the funniest person on the planet
Unfortunately.
and turn into the ghost of Christina Aguilera's voice.
So next,
But yeah, no, there's about a 40% spousal abuse rating amongst police officers. So
wow,
you would think they might, if they smoked a little more pot, they might be less inclined to beat their wives.
like wow, that's surprising.
Moving on to a touch of celebrity news, and obviously we don't normally talk about celebrity news because, girl, who cares? But I'm kind of upset because Michelle Rodriguez, aka my future studsman,
Who's Michelle Rodriguez?
where do you are you being shady or serious?
No, who is that?
Are you being you're being dead ass?
Like, I don't know the name.
She's
I'll probably know her face before her name.
Vin Diesel's homegirl from Fast and Furious.
Oh, see, yeah, had you said that, I would have known who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But she came to Liam Neeson's defense, which we're not even going to talk about him because, girl.
Oh, by Michelle, by default, you ain't shit. Next, please.
Yeah, thank you. Next. We're not even going to get into that, but, like, she said that he can't be racist. He made out with Viola Davis. He made out with Viola Davis. He ain't got a racist bone in his body.
Slave owners raped and had sex with and had children with slaves.
One. And two, I saw some screenshots and video clips of that kiss. It looked like he was trying to suck the melanin out through her face.
When you don't have lips, that's all it looks like.
Just no, girl, no. Next. And we're actually gonna kind of seamlessly segue into more positive rapid fire things. A bill has been dropped into Illinois legislature to legalize cannabis and allow people to have as many as 24 plants at home.
Woo!
There's one for the nation. No, but like, most sources think that this bill is going to curl up and die, which is not unexpected because it got introduced this year and it's pretty radical, and people, especially outside of Chicago, are still pretty conservative. I don't know why, girl. It's just weed. Worst thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to get fat.
Basically.
It's unlikely to pass, but that's something. In addition, there is a slightly more restrictive bill that has been on the floor and been negotiated for some time now, so it has a lot more likelihood of passing. So, I will be watching it rather closely because I'm rather excited. Next, Sandusky, Ohio, which I'm still side-eyeing Ohio into the stratosphere.
After all that bullshit that they pulled, yeah.
At the GM plant. Have you heard anything else about that yet?
Nope. I haven't looked.
There's a part of me that wants to look to see if anything has been done, but at the same time, my lack of faith in the people of this country makes me feel like anyway. Makes me feel like nothing has happened or will happen. But Sandusky decided to make Election Day a paid holiday for its citizens.
Yeah, okay, tight. That still don't mean shit because of that bullshit with the GM plant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, but it's it's a start, and I want to see more and more places start to do this.
Yep. Yeah.
Which means we can easily segue into our palette clones.
You know, I've stopped caring about the way you say that at this point.
What? Like,
It's just like, what is it? I'm trying to think of a good example. It's like being circumcised. You don't really ask for it to happen to you, but you just kind of get used to it.
I ain't touching that. I have no comment. I plead the fifth.
I mean, it's not a wrong comparison.
I'm gonna continue to plead the fifth. What?
Go on.
So anyway, back to our palette clones before we got so interrupted. A trio of brothers named Austin, Ryan, and Colin Gill started a fragrance company whose name I absolutely adore. It is Frères Branchiot.
That sounded like a lot of...
Frères Branchiot.
Thank you. I was going to say, there's like 7 more tongue rolls in that probably didn't
There
need
is
to be
not a
there.
single tongue roll.
Or whatever that was.
It is the French fruity R.
Ew. Go on, please.
Anyway, they started Frères Branchiot, which is a fragrance company started with sustainability and clean luxury in mind.
Let.
So do you know why my wig is being launched into orbit over this?
They are 8, 10,
and 13.
13.
8, 10, and 13. Let me think. When was this? 1999? Do you know what I was doing when I was like 8?
Eating fucking chips.
I was playing
breakfast.
Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
You know what I was doing when I was 10?
I was gonna say I had the PlayStation, so
Playing Dreamcast because I wasn't a basic bitch. No, I'm kidding. I had a Dreamcast
I
and
was
a
about to say,
PlayStation.
Dreamcast is good. Sorry, y'all. I never.
So that's it for our episode of the Baldwin Podcast.
We can argue about this in the nerd section, but the Dreamcast was not great at all.
Oh, bitch, we can absolutely argue about this in the nerd section
It
because
really
I will fight
wasn't.
you. I will fight you.
Just like, oh, my condolences. You had a Dreamcast. Overpriced and boring. Sorry. I'm not sorry, but yeah.
Okay, first of all, Demi, no. Second of all, you know what? We're gonna save this for the nerd section because I have strong feelings about the Dreamcast.
Unfortunately.
Anyway, we're gonna end our political section. I'm gonna try not to be out of a co-host.
It's my studio.
Yeah, speaking of your studio, we've got one of your songs playing next.
Yeah.
So, we have Winter by our very own Vesta coming up next.
In case us Westerners haven't had enough of it yet, here's a song about it.
Girl, this is your first full year in the Midwest. You should know how this goes by now.
I'm fine. I'm just laughing at everybody else who isn't and has lived here longer than me.
I mean,
Because there's somebody somewhere who's like flipping their shit that it's snowing.
Hi.
Oh. Did I call you out too hard there?
No, I'm just ready to wear hoe clothes again, bitch. I'm tired of wearing the fucking same ass hoodie and the same ass jeans. I got all these poppin' ass shorts ready and waiting.
We'll be back.
Got these poppin' ass shorts ready and waiting.
Back.
You need to moisturize my calves. And welcome back, guys, gals, and non binary pals. We're
Yeah.
moving on to our mental health section. And as always, just a brief disclaimer, we are just a couple of loudmouths with some microphones, some recording equipment. I'll add a lot to say. So, that said, please take everything we say on our mental health segment with a score of truckloads of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so given that well, I guess when this drops, it'll be February 15th.
After Valentine's Day.
What you meant to say was discount candy day, the first discount candy day of the year. No, the second,
Yeah.
right after New Year's.
No.
Yeah, so then February 15th will be the first
Yeah, that's the first.
first big discount candy day of the year.
But
So Vesta found a rather interesting article, and I'll let you regale our listeners.
so it's called The Worst Thing You Can Do on Valentine's Day. And it is by psychotherapist Hillary Jacobs Hindle. I hope I said that right. But in the article she talks about how she deals with women. I'm not gonna like make my bit exclusively about women, but she deals with women recovering from bad breakups or lamenting their singleness, to quote her. And Valentine's Day makes it worse. And she usually gets people saying, "Oh, Valentine's Day is Hallmark holiday. Should not care about it," or "I shouldn't care if I'm in a relationship," or "I should be happy being alone." There's a lot of should be's that come up around Valentine's Day. And while this article focuses on
Women.
like Valentine's Day in general, like the emotions around that, the should be mentality is sort of it extends further past that, because you can do that, you can bring yourself down with that as far as like, oh, I should be at this point in my life right now, like everybody says to be. And that mindset, when you think, oh, I should be here, should be there, that'll bring you into like a pit that is gets increasingly harder to climb out of the longer you keep yourself in that mindset. And she goes into talking about how should like and that should be would be mentality is like lessons that we take from like our childhood when we try and fit into a society that may or may not be catered to fit us. And then again, I'm extending this into, when I say us, I'm more mean like people of color, because we kind of feel that more than most, if not almost everyone else, having to like fit into a society that doesn't fit us.
Oh,
So
Chile.
I feel like should be could be's are worse with us. So on top of the baggage that comes with that fact, you also come into terms with like these ideas of like why it's interesting to kind of dig into, try and figure out why people feel like they should be at. I'm trying to think
I should
of.
be married. I should.
Yeah,
be
I should be
having
married. I
like
should
that.
have kids. I should be done with school. I shouldn't be renting. I should be owning all this bullshit, all that stuff. Which I'm not gonna say bullshit because those are valid thoughts to have, but at the same time,
To a point, though.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's only to a certain extent, because again, you start to find ways to kind of what is the word devaluate is in my head. That's not a word. What is that? Like when you just talk shit.
Use devaluate in the sentence, and I'll see if my
It's just like you find ways to devaluate yourself. Just like find ways to like.
deprecate.
Yeah, there we go. That was depreciate.
That's for financial stuff.
Words.
I used to mix the two up, A lot of people use self-deprecating humor, not self-depreciating
Oh, I
humor.
thought it was depreciating. Okay. Um, one way that this article combats Valentine's Day blues in general is like, again, it's kind of call back to another episode we do about, we've talked about before, is like self-caring for Valentine's Day. You don't have to want to be in a relationship, nor do you have to just shout your singleness to the world.
Yeah.
Let's just say. Just being real.
Sorry, I'm
I'm just being real.
I'm remembering that video you showed me a little bit before. We
Hello. Hello out there. Does anybody want a wife? If any of you have seen that video, please just revel in that humor for me. That's one of the funniest videos. I should just share it on the Facebook page when it's Valentine's Day. Like, just that whole video.
Sure.
I might just do it. You're like, hello out there. Does
anybody
anybody
want
want
a
a wife? And she goes from like, what would you call that? Just AVE.
Oh,
Like, she goes from AV in the beginning. She's like, I don't think anybody here don't nobody know I'm single. She's like, hello, hello out there. Does anybody want a wife?
and she just keeps going.
She's
It's
just like
hysterical.
breaking into. I'm single. I ain't got no kids.
I can cook, kind of.
I got edges under this frontal. that would kill me when I first watched it. Oh, it's so good. But you don't necessarily, if you feel, it's all right to like want somebody.
Yeah, because, bitch, it's cold out here. I want somebody to cuddle up next to, steal some body heat from.
Pay my bills, cook my food.
I was gonna say something dirty.
Wow. This is the voice that I use when I'm surprised about something.
And by surprised, Vesta means not surprised at all, because I'm clearly a salacious old bitch.
Same, honestly, but
Yeah, but I got years on you.
a couple, but what, like
6?
6? And
I'm like the crypt
Craft Keeper. Oh, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. What was I going on about? I forgot. Oh, so if you don't feel the holiday tight, if you do feel the holiday tight, you don't have to be in a relationship. That's a thing that we kind of need to take away here. You don't need to be in one. Like a necessity. It's not an. Wow, brain. Get my words together.
I mean, half these niggas don't wash their balls properly anyway, so.
Whoa! Did you see? I'm gonna go on a tangent. Did you see about the guy who didn't wash his dick for like his entire life because he had foreskin? He didn't know he was supposed to wash under his foreskin. I was disgusted.
No, that's all the more reason to wash.
Now he was like, and I gotta remember the nurse's face. She's like, "Do you wash there?" Like she pulled it back, and she's like, "This is called smell." Yeah, You don't see anything because it's censored, but I knew exactly what was there.
No, but I can imagine the smell.
At its cheesiest. Shout out to the read.
No, we're changing so.
Dick cheese.
The harvest must have been plentiful if he ain't never washed before.
Yeah. So, back to what I was saying.
While I'm over here just like spasming in disgust.
You don't need. The takeaway I take from Valentine's Day is that I say this to people: you don't need to be single. Revel in being single if you wanna, but also don't shit on a relationship. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, necessarily is not really. A relationship's not really needed, but it's really not needed. Y'all can at me if you think otherwise. But being single is a really good time. That's like the best time to really like do some like legit self-care for yourself
and get some hoe shit in.
I don't really like this article because when she mentions self-care and then goes into like do yoga and others, I'm like, okay, girl, I get what you're going for.
Colonizer, she's a colonizer.
I'm like, girl, all right, thank you, honey.
Thank you, next.
Hercules. We'll take it from here, darling.
Basically, because again, self-care isn't just isn't just
Doing yoga.
no. It is not just dressing up in your tightest Lululemon leggings.
Lulu alliteration.
Your tightest Lululemon leggings and getting your highest premium yoga mat.
God.
And going and going down to the nearest hot yoga studio and sweating out all your bad feelings.
Oh my god, I love Tony J.
You and I both know my voice needs to be way deeper for that.
No one can be Tony J.
Ooh, his voice is so sinister. I love it. May he rest in peace.
May you rest in peace, yes. But I don't know. I've had my moments, especially in like the fucking middle school, high school days. That was like those years are like the worst offenders of if you're not wallowing in it, everyone else around you is wallowing in it. And
Excuse me while I reach back in time and smack 14, 15, 16 year, 17-year-old. Well, no. I was seeing somebody when I was 17.
it's just like, oh my god, like I need a man, woman, in between.
So I'm just over here channeling, what are they called? Pussycat Dolls.
Who?
I don't need a man to make it happen. No? No? Okay, so I'm playing that for you on our next break.
I already know the song.
But it's a factual statement. You don't... The thing is that, one, today is a glorious day where candy can be as much as 50 to 75% off. Bitch, you can drown all your sadness in Reese's Cups and ain't nobody gonna question you.
Real shit. You know how quick I'm gonna buy up those Valentine's pack of M&Ms? I work right next to a CVS. So...
Thank you. Next. But no, seriously though, this would be the time, like, if you're really feeling down about, not being in a relationship with somebody, which again, these niggas don't wash their balls, so you're not missing out on all that much. But seriously though, if you're, I don't know, just wallowing in the fact that you're not with somebody, I would almost say reach out to people a little bit. Just because why, like, I don't know, if I were single at this point in time, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't care and just would be waiting until discount day and go buy up a bunch of candy hearts and be good with it.
Go ahead.
But the thing is that you know what I plan on doing on an actual Valentine's Day? Video games and maybe a little bit of cannabis.
I'm probably gonna be working, y'all. So,
actually, wait. Valentine's Day is a Thursday this year, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it's I got coin to make.
Yeah, but like whether or not I'm in a relationship, I'm just gonna go do me. Like having somebody is nice, but your own freedom is also quite nice.
To quote Cher, man is not a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. I love her for that. But. Share that interview of her saying, I think men are the coolest, but you don't necessarily need a man to survive. It was like real shit.
And then we can bring it back to Eartha Kitt, how somebody was asking her if she...
Stupid.
Exactly. Asking her if she wanted to compromise to keep a man, and she's like...
A man comes into my life and I gotta compromise. You best think about that one again.
Exactly. Like,
don't
take notes.
We're literally
take notes from these legends.
We're like straying so far from like what we were talking about before, because this is gonna end up turning into like why you don't need a man, which I guess could work.
Not
Never
washing
mind.
their balls, fucking up your credit, bringing all sorts of
not in this pussy. But another alternative, Valentine's don't have to be romantic.
No.
If y'all don't go to Applebee's and get that 2 for $25.
Ooh, just like get like 2 or 3 of your best friends and go. Cackle at all the couples that are just doing the most for no reason in an Applebee's or welcome to Chili's or or Ruby Tuesday, if that's even a thing still.
The hell is Ruby Tuesday? What is that?
I'm sorry, what?
What is that?
Context clues, ho.
I don't get it.
Applebee's, Chili's, Ruby Tuesday.
What is Ruby Tuesday? Is that another restaurant?
It's certainly not the USS Enterprise.
Like, is that just a Midwest thing? Because I've never heard of it.
I don't know if it's even still a
I
thing.
was gonna say, like, I've never seen or heard of a Ruby these days.
They might have gone out of business, but they were this place that I don't remember a whole lot from it because I was really young when we went there a couple times. But I know that they had these desserts called the tall cakes, which was a glass chalice that was, I like hold my hands up to show Vesta how big, but it was maybe a 6-inch diameter chalice that's like 4 inches deep.
Did it walk in the club like nobody's business? 6 inch, man.
You know what? Anyway, but it had like there was a chocolate tall cake and a strawberry tall cake, and the chocolate one was like chocolate ice cream, brownie with chocolate chips in it, covered in like whipped cream and all sorts. It was basically a big ass sundae, but they called it a tall cake for some reason, and I'm pretty sure it had like 7,000 calories. But me and my brother always went up for him. Like I would always get a chocolate one, and he would always get a strawberry one, because we didn't really like the opposite. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked talking about tall cakes.
I know. See,
But honestly, though, like
go with your friends somewhere.
if you don't have anybody, get your other single friends. Go out somewhere, order like 50, 11 drinks, except for the DD.
Go to IHOP.
See,
Go to
I
Denny's.
was just say, if you're going to go to one of those, you better bring a flask, otherwise it's not going to be fun. I'm kidding. I am kidding. I do not endorse excessive drinking, especially in public. Don't look at me like that. I need to just start taking pictures of your facial expressions so we can post them in the YouTube video.
Oh, piss off.
Anyway.
Anyway.
But anyway, no. But in all seriousness, like go to a I wouldn't say IHOP or Denny's though, because those are definitely like breakfasty places. Go to somewhere that actually does serve drinks, because more often than not, the cheap boyfriends are going to be bringing their even cheaper dates there to try to impress them
Ooh, real shit.
by balling out on $2 margaritas.
Real talk.
And like I said, girl, get a Long Island iced tea and some appetizers to split, and just watch everybody do the most. People watching is one of my favorite pastimes.
Same.
Honestly, especially because I'm an English major and I like writing, so I like
I
just
like
seeing.
people watching in the summer because I have these big, like, 70s Farrah Fawcett glasses where no one can see where I'm looking.
Yeah, and I've got my claw machine glasses that I won forever and a half ago that I absolutely live for.
Claw machine glass. Oh,
I'll show you during the break.
okay. And, yeah, just don't
Make it fun.
don't let the so going back to what I was saying before, like way before, don't let other people's standards of like where you should be. I love that sound, don't you?
Yeah, hopefully certain things will cut that out.
Yeah, it'll
if
be
y'all
fine.
if y'all can't hear it, there's a
It's a pipe in the wall that always just wants to intrude.
the the pipe is trying to make a beat, and it's got about as much rhythm as Iggy Azalea.
First things first, Amaryllis.
First things first, go back to your farm in Mullumbee, Australia, Miss
That-
Amethyst Kelly.
So that didn't even. You had to have a rhyme. That wasn't even.
I don't care. By the way, these are the glasses I was talking about.
Oh, I remember. I've seen those. Yeah. Okay. But don't let should be, could be's, supposed to be's influence where you like.
Don't let should be, could be.
Yeah,
ruin
don't
your
let
now.
it tell you. Yeah, don't fuck up your now,
'Cause
because
that honestly applies to more than just Valentine's Day.
that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, because you ain't gotta be married at said age. You ain't gotta have kids at said age.
You don't have to graduate college at said age. You don't have
Yeah,
to
you don't have
a
to
career at
finish
said age.
college in the time people tell you to. You finish college when you finish. As long as you don't fucking quit,
If you set,
I mean, without any good reason, then you're fucking good. Fuck it.
no, even if you want to quit, though, girl, if you get all those student loans all racked up and you didn't get a degree out of it, what are you even doing?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But
But,
don't let like it's taking me because I'm trying to finish up my associates in English,
as am I, I'm getting mine. Mine should be done by this semester.
and it's taken me. I've been working on getting some kind of a degree since I came out of high school at 18. It's been nearly a decade, and I still don't have my degree. And you know what? That's fucking fine. I've had all sorts of setbacks and modifications and flips and reverses, no Missy Elliott, all happen to me between graduating high school and now. And so the fact that I'm still working on getting my associates is fine. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
And
I want it. I
yeah,
got it. I want it. I got it.
let's sing the
You like
superior version.
my hair? Gee, thanks. Just
It's
no,
mine. I bought it.
but
It's
like
mine. I bought it.
I don't. I don't have the kind of job that I really want. That doesn't mean that I'm not, surviving as I am. I'm just gonna keep looking for what's better and not let these shoulds fuck me up. Like, I should be at a job that makes me happy. Yeah, that's a factual statement. But wallowing in that factual statement is just gonna fuck my mental up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And frankly, I'm not here for it.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, don't let the shoulds of the future fuck up your present homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
There's a word I haven't used in a while, but there's an extremely fine line between wanting something out of your future and wallowing in the what should be,
According to other people. And
or
other
hell,
ideas.
according to yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, before we go off on another tangent, shall we call it a day for our mental health section?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case, I believe Mr. Fahrenheit is going to slide through with something called Mind Slip.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I was. It's very interesting. Some clips he uses in this song from. I don't know if I can still call it obscure because it's kind of gotten a revived, like, presence in the internet community. But if you're aware of what they're from, shout kudos to y'all.
Alright, so y'all enjoy, and we will be back after this.
Something to show you.
And welcome back. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I definitely did.
Yeah.
Because, yes, we do, listen to these really quick before just up and posting them in. Alright, so we're going to move on to our nerd culture.
Mm-hmm.
Which, first and foremost, because everybody's gagging their tits off about it, Apex Legends. Which is, at least to me, Fortnite, but better. You have no idea. Do you know anything about the game?
I'm very indifferent about this style of game, so
Do you know anything about it?
yes.
What do you know?
I just know that it's basically Overwatch with Fortnite mechanics. And like a really small, but that's just because it just came out. But like a small list of heroes you can play as.
Yeah, a total of 6 when you download the game, and then there's an additional 2 that I think you can grind for. either grind for or pay for one way or another. I haven't played it enough or been even anywhere near good enough at it to have purchased anything quite yet. But it does. But Vesta is right. It does have Overwatch. It's giving me Overwatch. It's giving me Fortnite. But it's doing it a little better almost. At least as far as I've played. Because it is first-person shooter, the shooting mechanics are pretty solid. Each character has their own, separate abilities. You can actually aim down the sights. Yes, bitch, I'm looking at you, Blizzard. You can't aim down the sights unless you're like 2 or 3 characters in Overwatch, and it drives me nuts. But what's nice about it is that you can deploy in 3 instead of just individual fights. It's squadron. It's small detachments, squadrons, etc. It's groups of 3, and I think it's 60 players instead of 100 players.
Like I don't know. I've always been indifferent about these kind of games, so it's just they all look the same to me after a while.
This one I really like, though. At least as far as I've played it so far, people actually try to work together. If you get dropped and your teammates drop the guy that dropped you, they'll res you and then keep it pushing. Also, because this was the main reason why I wanted to talk about it, bitch, the representation.
Yeah, that was what actually got me, was the amount of representation in the characters.
So, you've got, I believe they are German, but a non-binary tracker. You've got a Pacific Islander. I'm pretty sure he's Samoan, who is gay as fuck. You've got a bubblegum pink-haired black girl from the Caribbean. Who else? You've got some angry white guy that just farts.
Yeah.
Like his whole thing is noxious gas. You've got this other badass black girl with like your exact same curl pattern at that.
Right.
Who is just a solid soldier.
I like her.
We've got a whole ass robot. We've got some Mediterranean-looking dude that is good at mirages. I think that's his actual character name.
Right.
And then we've got, she looks East Asian, but I can't be 100% sure. Who does like a bunch of teleporty things. So yeah, you're right with that, with the Overwatch analysis, especially because in the squadrons there cannot be repeats of the same character.
Yeah. See, so I'm like, it's a free Overwatch.
Which kind of forces you to pick, in a tactical manner.
Right.
Everything is pretty detailed. It looks pretty sharp. From what I've played, because I've played through the training thing a couple times just to kind of get a feel for the controls. It takes a little bit of getting used to because there's a couple of different things compared to how most video games basically copy Call of Duty's mechanics for their everything. Click the left stick to sprint, click the right stick for melee, circle to crouch, X to jump,
Right.
square to reload, etc. Which I think actually I'd have to sit down and play it again, but I'm pretty sure that that's not too far off from how the controls are. But I like it so far, and I'm going to try to keep playing it and check back in with y'all as time goes by.
Yeah. So my thing right now, there's a couple of things that bothered me in the nerd news. There's a new show called Pennyworth that's coming out or in the same vein of the people that have made Gotham, which I haven't watched any of. But it's a Alfred backstory where Alfred is working for Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, in the 1960s in London. And Alfred's like a soldier turned bouncer. And I'm like, can y'all just stick to animation where your talent is and stop doing this live action shit? It's not working. Why do we need another... I was iffy on Gotham. Like, I remember seeing Gotham, like, wow, another weird Batman prequel.
Because DC is just obsessed. They're just obsessed with Batman.
And I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but...
Because he's the goddamn Batman.
I've always hated Batman, I'm just being real. His Rogues Gallery was better than him in like everything they were in, except for Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy is like the only good Batman for me.
I stand for Kevin Conroy.
Sorry, that's
as
the
Batman.
only Batman I will say is a good Batman, but fuck Batman everywhere else. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, the newest Star Wars movie's title got leaked, and it's called supposedly The Balance of the Force. And I go,
Episode 9, The Balance of the Force.
yeah, Balance of the Force. And I go, because apparently someone went to, like, again, this is a rumor. It's a big apparently. But someone went through, like, the site's coding and found the title listed a couple times. And, can you not? Yeah, and it's called The Balance of the Force. And I'm about tired of Star Wars right now. Because that last big Star Wars movie was a failure. To me, it sucked really bad. And so did Solo. I know everybody was here for Solo. I wasn't. I love Donald Glover, but
who, by the way, couldn't accept.
Jesus Christ.
Which, sidebar, congratulations to him for getting a Grammy for This Is America.
Good for that's good. Because Solo was just
That was a good decision, but this bleach beard, not so much.
he bleached his beard.
He bleached his beard.
Sorry.
Bitch.
Check please.
Bitch.
But yeah, and then what are we gonna talk about now? Oh yeah, so Dreamcast sucks.
Okay, I was gonna pull up a picture so you could see what Childish Gambino's bleached beard looks like, but okay, we're gonna have to fight because
there's so many.
Why
other
did it suck?
consoles
Why did it suck?
It was just so. The whole thing with Dreamcast was that it was so starkly different compared to everything else that came out. Like, is it good? There's a good thing to have a little bit of difference in your consoles, or else you're gonna put out the same shit everybody else is. I get that, but Dreamcast was like so insanely different that it was hard for it to stay alive in the market it was in.
You sure that wasn't because Microsoft was like, "Ooh, girl, they don't have patents on this, that, and the other. Let's basically copy everything, including the fucking controller design, and put out something called the Xbox."
Oh, Xbox is trash too. Just being completely honest, like Xbox sucks too. But Dreamcast was never that interesting to me. Especially, but the only good thing that Dreamcast had was like their lineup of games. That's the only good thing that they had for me was the game lineup. That's it.
Are we not going to talk about the revolutionary VMU, the visual memory unit, where you saved your games to it, and certain games had like actual mini games that you could play on this little thing?
Is that really revolutionary though?
For the late 90s, early 2000s.
That works. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Pokemon Go who?
Pokemon Go's trash too.
Ooh, we're gonna lose listeners for that.
No, let me not be completely honest. It got a lot of people off their feet for the 2 months that it was popular, but
wasn't that a magical 2 months though, where
everybody was like, "Wow, going outside." You saw people just hanging out, and
no, but like,
and then it died
for like those 2 weeks or whatever.
It was like
that
a couple
Pogo
months.
Was big right up until the next, big police murder happened.
Oh, real shit.
It was actually nice. Like, people were happy. People were going outside. Ooh, I caught this. Ooh, I caught that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I still have it on my phone, but I haven't opened it in like a solid few months now.
I actually never got into Pogo.
I had it for a little while. It was a good way because I was already walking around. I'm like, why don't I not just play Pokemon Go in the new neighborhood I was in at the time? And it was a fun thing to do walking around. But if you live in the suburbs, you get Rattatas and fucking what is the other one Pidgeys. You get a lot of Pidgeys in suburbs, and it sucks.
But anyway, bitch, we're getting off topic because I still stand for the Dreamcast. I still stand for MDK2 and San Francisco Rush 2049.
Again, there's nothing wrong with their games because their games are amazing. The Dreamcast itself, I hate, and it sucks to me. Honest. I never liked the Dreamcast. The lineup of games is legendary. That's the one thing it's got for me. I'm sorry, but that's it. Sonic Adventure 1, though?
Are you really trying to shade Sonic Adventure 1?
2 is lit.
2 is amazing.
I couldn't get into Sonic Adventure 1 as much as 2.
I loved 1. I stand for 2.
Sonic Adventure 2 was the shit, but I couldn't get into 1. I never got into 1.
It also might have something to do with me being older than you and being able to appreciate it properly. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I actually, believe it or not, I actually still have a functional Dreamcast.
Really? Where the fuck is it?
I'll have to show you next time you come over.
I didn't know you had a functioning one.
Yep. It's a functional Dreamcast. I have like 2 games for it.
Oh, cool. My condolences.
Because I still. My condolences, bitch ass. Hail.
But didn't Shenmue, because I was just looking.
Shenmue. Thou uncultured swine.
Didn't Shenmue have like a remake? Did they remake it or re-release it? I forget which one it was.
Re-release what?
Shenmue.
I don't understand.
Oh my god. That smile on your face that you can't hide says otherwise. Shenmue.
Thank you. Yes, I believe that game did actually get re-released, and Shenmue 3 is supposed to be, if it hasn't already, it's supposed to be dropping within the next year or so we finally get some fucking closure.
Hey, go ahead, Shenmue. Alright, what else we got? What else did you write down? Power Stone, cool, Soul Calibur.
Power Stone was an amazing fighting game.
I love Tekken. Cool Tekken you got there.
Cool Tekken? Are you trying to shade Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
I'm going home. I'm going home. Goodbye.
No. Do you know how much noise that makes when you take your mic?
First of all, how the fuck dare you try to talk shit about one of the greatest fighting game series to ever grace home consoles?
Is that what that is? I'm just joking.
First of all,
I'm just joking. I personally never got into Soul Calibur, but I'm not going to say that it's a bad game because it's actually really good. But
except for 5, we don't really talk about 5.
Yeah, I've heard. Again, I've never gotten into it enough to like understand why, but I've heard a lot of people tell me fuck 5. Yeah,
5 changed a lot of the mechanics and kind of fucked it up.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But no, I grew up with when it was I can't even remember, was it Soul Blade or it was Soul something before it was Soul Calibur, and it was only in arcades. And anytime I saw it, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go play this because I absolutely loved it. And then Soul Calibur happened, and I loved that in the arcades. And then my dad surprised us with a Dreamcast. One of the games we got with it was Soul Calibur, and I adore Soul Calibur with every fiber of my being, with every fiber of my soul.
True. That reminds me of fucking tiny tangent here. Recently, it's because you mentioned arcade games, and I had a flashback to like going to Chuck E. Cheese all the time when I was a kid. And for some reason, the Chuck E. Cheese in my neighborhood, no other Chuck E. Cheese had the amount of legendary ass retro arcade games that mined it for whatever reason.
Ooh, bitch! I need to take you to Galloping Ghost.
Yeah, there's a couple of arcade bars that I know of. Shout out to Izzy Sports Bar in Des Plaines, top tier.
Thank you for saying that right.
What? How
I've
else
heard
do you
people
say
it's Des Plaines. But I've heard people say Des Plaines because they're trying to be French.
Ew, well, okay. But yeah, shout out to Izzy Sports Bar in Des Plaines. If y'all are anywhere near there or want to go on a night trip, go there. But I was back when in Chuck E. Cheese, do you remember? I'm just having flashbacks now. So I used to play religiously if I ever went to that Chuck E. Cheese. House of the Dead, the first one.
The House of the Dead.
And I used to be the only kid at one point to get to the end of that game. Oh my
god, some of that voice acting in that game was so abysmal.
I love the
Don't come!
The graphics look so good, and then you get to the voice that you're like, don't come, everyone's getting kitsched.
God.
You shall all die. It's so good.
God,
I love that shit. I love that shit.
It was so bad.
Oh my god, it got better as the installments went on, but so that's a good one. The OG Jurassic Park.
Guess what? Ooh, hold on, goodness, it's a little past my bedtime. So, bitch, guess what system House of the Dead came the fuck out on? Dreamcast.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh well, unless like I said, Dreamcast has the lit ass fucking lineup of games. Still hate the Dreamcast itself, but that list of games is dope. The motion simulator, like Jurassic Park, with like the
Oh, bitch, with
8-bit
this
graphics.
and the seat
Yeah,
that
yeah.
actually like vibrates and
Uh huh.
stuff.
That's another classic that no one else could beat except for me and my sister. Oh my god. What's another one I'm trying to think of? This is a little newer, but do you remember the firefighting one?
There's a firefighting arcade game.
Okay, so it was like a big ass screen. It had in Japanese. You could tell it was like ported from Japan. It had a better title. I forget what it was called. Like something, New Year's Inferno or something like that. Because that's what the
Ooh.
story is in. One that was called in the U.S. Brave Firefighters. So, got on my nerves, but every
I'm already tired.
but they had like actual like the controllers were shaped like the ends of firefighter hoses, and you pressed the button to launch the water, and you twisted it to make it spray and fan out, or do a stream that went straight forward. That was another one that I would ace. It took a long ass time, but I would ace the shit out of that game.
So then clearly, I need to take you to round one at some point.
Hell yeah, I would. Well, round one's got that new shit. Not that it's bad, but it's got that new shit. Like, have you seen like the viewers included in this question? Have y'all seen those big ass like fucking 10, 15 feet tall Space Invaders? Like the big ass ones where you sit four in a row and it starts off like normal, but then they start getting like in the foreground and in the background it's like fucking.
I'd have to see it.
That was the most stress-inducing thing. I didn't even play it. I just watched, and I'm like, "What in the hell is happening?" And if you have fucking epilepsy, don't even look at it, because that's how bright it flashes at people.
Oh, yikes.
It's so bad. Like it's like rainbow. It's so bad. I saw it in Reno when I went there one time, and I was like, "What the fuck is this doing here among all these old people? They're gonna go cataleptic." Um, but yeah, arcade games, y'all, are lit.
So,
So,
and keeping with the theme from last week, we had black ass music last week. So this week we've got some black ass movies, and I just wanted to bring up like one of my faves. Actually, what's your fave?
you have to come back to me. There's too many. So, what's yours?
Friday.
That was my
That was
dad's favorite too.
That was honestly, that's one of those movies that my brother and I could just quote the whole thing from start to finish.
Oh my god.
When you gonna let me fuck Miss Parker?
Oh my god. Friday's good. I'm trying to think of some. Like, there's different types of black
You
movies.
are the last
Oh
dragon.
yeah, Last Dragon is a classic. It's got my girl, motherfucking Vanity.
What else?
Color Purple.
Which we have to mention, even though
Mandatory.
I actually have not seen
I've
it.
seen it once or twice through. I haven't sat down and watched it
Though
like
somebody,
as an adult.
like, I have approximate knowledge of like some of the jokes around it, and there was a running. Somebody did a screen cap from that movie. I don't know which character this was, but it was whoever says, "Until you do right by
Oh
me,
my
everything
God.
you got gonna crumble, or every thought you have gonna crumble," or something like that. And somebody captioned it. Until you do right by Kaepernick, every Super Bowl halftime show you got gonna crumble.
Real shit. Because
Since he's been blackballed, every show has been trash,
garbage.
including Justin Timberlake trying to get around Prince's dying wishes about not being a hologram by projecting his ass on a flattering ass thing of cloth.
Knowing damn well Prince didn't like his
Prince would
flat
rise.
ass.
Prince
anyway.
Prince would raise his 5'2" ass out of the ground and plant his entire arm up JT's ass and make him look like he has some actual talent for once. I mean,
You know,
I'm not going to recognize your talent at all if all you do is capitalize off of black voices and black skills.
really.
I mean, develop something of your own. It may be based out of it, but like Ed Sheeran, for example, is a good example of somebody who, like, he does a lot of rapping on his music, but he doesn't try to sound like anybody else. He just tries to sound like him.
Yeah. Purple Rain, since we're on Prince.
Oh,
Purple
obviously. Purple Rain, it's like, it's got its problems,
Rain. Like Apollonia.
but like by far my favorite part, which unfortunately was in a very dramatically tense part of the movie, him storming into his dad's place or his parents' house, I guess, and looking around for his dad. Where are you? Where are you? Answer me, motherfucker! And then he does like this graceful ass pirouette as he spins around.
He spins. Oh my god! Like
I'm like, this is not an ice skating competition.
like Prince didn't. Prince. That movie is amazing.
Prince was the original Mrs. Steal Your Girl and give her eyeliner tips, but
Mrs. Steal Girl and her eyeliner pens.
else Shaft,
Shaft.
which unfortunately I also have not seen.
Shaft in Africa, which gave.
That was a thing.
I think so. Yeah. Shaft
Speaking
in
of
Africa?
which, Coming to America.
Comes to America. Oh yes, played by Simba's parents in the flesh.
Wait, both of them?
Yeah, it's both of
Like
them.
I knew James Earl Jones.
No, that's why they were cast. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's both of the OG.
Mufasa and Sarabi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like part of the inspo is why they got casted.
I still love the fact that he's reprising his role as Mufasa.
Right. They would have gotten Sarabi back, but she's passed. The
She
original
passed
actress.
on?
I'm pretty sure she did.
Oh, well,
Because I was looking into it, I'm like, why didn't they get her back? It's because she passed, I think.
I mean, granted, she also had like 2.5 lines.
She had a couple in there, but she had some dope moments.
Oh yeah, like the your son is something. No. She said your son needs your attention, and he goes
Before the sunrise, he's your son. I love that.
That is such an actual parent ass
I
line.
know. It's like a. I'm just gonna actually Google a list of black movies.
Wow, a list of black movies. What else? What else can you? You know what else that doesn't really?
Oh, you know what? Black Panther.
I feel like that was a given though.
No, we had to mention it because you know. Get Out.
Of course, and Us.
I'm going down the list actually of
Okay.
like Moonlight.
which I still need to see.
I went to acting school with one of the kids in that movie. Again,
Ooh.
I forget.
Brushing elbows with fame.
I know, right? And they probably would be like, "Who the hell?" 12 Years a Slave.
Roots obviously needs
Roots,
to be there.
yeah, Roots, hardcore.
My parents made me watch Forever and 3/4 ago, and I remember literally none of it.
Yeah, I need to actually sit and watch it again.
And the original, not the remake.
Yeah, The Help is here.
Get your raggedy ass off my porch.
Precious is on here.
Oh, didn't Monique win an Oscar for that?
Yeah.
Love Us for Real.
Malcolm X.
The one with Denzel.
Yes, I actually watched that. That was a really good movie. Okay, let's go on
Selma.
to Selma. Yeah, Selma's
Which
good.
Selma, I can't watch. I can't watch Selma
Boys
again.
in the Hood.
Yeah, but no, I can't watch Selma.
It's a hard one to watch.
No. Like I can handle traumatic stuff if I can distance myself from it. But in that movie, Lakeith Stanfield looks a lot like my younger brother. Mm-hmm. And spoilers, watching him getting attacked and beaten up like that just fucked my whole week up after that.
Yeah.
Like my younger brother and I aren't super close, but I guarantee you if somebody tried to do him dirty like that, I'd be smiling to my mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
The same way with my sisters. I'm not close to them, but something like
Round one, ding ding.
I got these big ass hands with size 17 rings.
Size 17.
You can
Ray.
Oof, Jamie Foxx ate the hell out of that role.
He was literally Ray Charles in that movie.
Apparently, he had them use surgical glue to actually keep his eyes shut throughout the movie.
Yeah. He got into that hardcore.
Mimicked a lot of his mannerisms and everything. And you watch like Ray Charles's performances versus Jamie's performances, and that's pretty.
Set It Off.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That's a good one. That's one you have to see. Set It Off is really good. I forget who's in it. That fine ass hunk of man. Who is that? He ended up playing he was in like a Tyler Perry movie, like one of the early good ones. I think he was an abusive husband.
God, that movie's almost as old as you.
Yeah, it is as old as me.
It's older than you.
Remember the Titans is another good one.
Oh yes. Okay, who's who? Because I've got the cast list right here.
Am I remembering properly? Yeah, I am. Because okay, hold on, y'all.
Hold, please.
Blair Underwood. I'm mixing him up with someone different. Whoops.
Okay.
But yeah, there's like a movie style like sex scene. Spoilers with him in it, and it's just
Bitch,
like,
that movie is a smooth 23 years
oh
old.
my, woo, the vapors.
Okay, first of all, Blanche, calm down.
Bad Boys,
Of course.
Pursuit of Happiness. That's another really good one.
Oh, have you seen 7 Pounds?
No, I've not.
That one, the end of that was hard.
Love and Basketball.
No.
What?
No.
Why not Love and Basketball?
I refuse.
Why?
No.
Why?
Hated it from start to finish.
Oh, damn.
Like, I don't even remember anything about the movie other than that I hated it the whole time I watched it.
Listen, the one thing I like that came out of that was like the memes of the sex scene and the song. What song is that? A Woman's Worth? Are they playing it?
Is it Maxwell?
Yeah. Isn't that A Woman's Worth? Yeah. There are memes of that.
Pray God you can get.
God damn it. Oh.
Standing outside.
Anyway.
This woman's worth.
Anyway.
This woman's worth.
Barbershop.
Oh, of course. Bernie Mac's loud ass.
Oh, I love Barbershop so much.
The first one, though. We're not going to talk about the sequels.
We're not. Oh, the 5 Heartbeats. That's another good
The
one.
Temptations? No. I'm adding that on.
Oh, yeah, the movie. Yeah.
My grandma still like, she used to have the biggest crush on David Ruffin.
Boomerang. Boomerang is a classic.
I'm gonna go turn my black card in because I've never seen it.
Man, it's got Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry in it. And if I'm thinking
Halle
of the right
Berry.
movie, Grace Jones, isn't it?
Is it the one where she's like, have you seen this pussy?
No man can resist this pussy.
I
So,
aspire.
trivia time. For live performances of Work This Pussy, Tiana Taylor, she samples Grace Jones' lines in that and like mimes them on stage. And
Like
then
a drag queen?
Yeah, and then the last line before the song started is like, so, when are we gonna fuck? And it goes, work this pussy, work this pussy. That's like one of my favorite. Anyway.
Can we stand, like...
Poetic Justice. That's another good one. I'm skipping some of these because I don't like them. House Party.
Oh, Kid and Play.
AKA My Hair Inspo.
I mean...
Oh, let's talk about Soul Food is on here.
I haven't seen that.
That's a...
You know what one we
That's
haven't-
a hard one to watch.
You know what's two that we haven't mentioned yet that we are clearly forgetting somebody important? Waiting to Exhale.
I was about to say it was the next one on my list. Was Waiting to Exhale.
And how Stella got her groove back.
Yes.
Because we have to mention Queen Mother.
Queen Mother.
A whole 61 years old and looking like a smooth 40.
School Days is another one that I've heard of. I haven't seen that one.
Same.
Coach Carter.
That one was pretty good.
Dreamgirls. Hello.
Dream girl.
Hello.
Hey, that's where we got the name for my cough a few episodes ago.
The OG, not the...
Because and I am
Yeah, it is too late for this.
telling you
How Stella got her groove back.
I'm not going.
Oh, Big Mama's House. The first one.
Yeah, and only the first one.
Well, I know the one after was funny. It wasn't anywhere near as good.
That's usually the case with sequels.
But the first one is amazing. A few more that I'm gonna read off, and then that'll probably be it. Harlem Nights. It's another good one.
That's another Eddie Murphy one. I am lacking in my Eddie Murphy exposure apparently, because I've only seen part of Coming to America.
Sister Act.
Does that count as a black movie though?
Whoopi Goldberg is the lead fucking role.
Okay, you can have a black person as a lead role and not have it be a...
That's a black ass movie if I've ever seen one. Thank you. Next. So,
What about Sister Act 2?
yeah.
That one, I feel like that, if anything, that one counts more.
Oh, Purple
Because of
Rain's
the
on
kids.
here with Prince and some woman that I've never heard of.
What? For those who haven't been paying attention, Vesta likes to shade the ever-loving shit out of Apollonia.
That shouldn't have been Apollonia.
That should have been Vanity.
That should have been Vanity. It was already Vanity. They had already recorded half the movie with Vanity before she dropped off. I forget why. Probably because of drugs. But girl, Apollonia used to look the same as you did back then, but don't ever act in any other movie ever again. The Wiz is a good one to end on. The Wiz. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Just because of that. We're going to end on Aquila and the Bee.
Brow.
Aquila and the Bee.
Oh, her mnemonic device for memorizing spelling?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of it. Like, was Friday even on that list?
Yeah, but we already mentioned it.
Okay. What about Friday After Next?
Friday After Next was right after.
Okay, because we're not going to mention next Friday.
Yeah, no next Friday. I keep wanting to say, okay, this is the last one, but there's a bunch of other ones. Okay, Why Did I Get Married? The first one. Only the first one.
Haven't seen it.
That's a good one to watch. Listen, Jill Scott.
Ooh.
Jill Scott in that movie.
You mean jazz titties? I'm kidding. I'm 100% kidding.
Guys, gals, I'm not very bad. No, but Jill Scott.
How many times have we fake into this show so far?
3 times.
Jesus.
But Jill Scott ate that roll up.
And she was living her life like it was golden.
But there's a couple scenes in that you need to see, like a specific, very private moment that we're capturing on tape for everyone to hear right now. But there's scenes in there that you have to see. But anybody who hasn't seen that movie, the first one alone, don't watch this. Do not watch the second.
Is there a second?
Yeah, there's a second one.
Really? There's only the first movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So I think that's it for that.
You know, there's one more that I do want to mention because it's another one that my brother and I can quote back and forth at each other forever and a half.
What?
Undercover Brother. God, that was...
Oh, so is White Chicks a black movie?
Yeah, it's got the Wayans brothers in it, of course it is.
Alright, cool.
Which I haven't seen...
You haven't seen White Chicks?
I haven't seen White Chicks because I'm not interested in watching a movie with 2 fake-ass Iggy Azaleas.
Oh, it's so good.
They look like Iggy Azalea with Kim Kardashian's voice.
It's so good. You have to watch that at least once. Terry Crews is amazing.
Don't Be a Menace to Society.
I thought we were done.
I'm mentioning ones that you haven't mentioned.
We're going to keep going back and forth.
But no, Undercover Brother, oh my God. My brother and I could just quote left and right all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I need to get him on the show someday.
Yeah, you do.
Because that'll be funny.
It'll be loud as hell. Are you
trying to say something?
That we're loud as hell, yeah. You knew? We're ethnic.
Yeah, but
we're colored.
But we're papyrus font ethnic, not hand-drawn science.
You knew. We're colored.
We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Ba-na-na-na-na. Give me a high five.
Wow, we're so that was a great list of movies we just went through. That was a lot.
All of which we do suggest y'all go watch.
Please do.
Support black talent.
Yes.
Because we're actually sickening. Do you have anything else you want to add? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Really quick. The Wiz. About that movie.
Can you feel a brand new day?
Diana Ross was the worst cast role in that entire movie. And it wasn't even... It was.
There, I had to exhale.
You know she got that from bragging. I can get Michael into this. You should cast me as Dorothy. It was supposed to go to Stephanie Mills, who originated that role on Broadway. And then Diana, the Crypt Keeper, just, let me not. Let me not. Let me not do that. Let me not do that to her. Let me not. Diana, girl. If you're listening to this,
how dare you disrespect?
If
I'm. Who?
I'm gonna get so much trouble for that. My father used to call her the crypt keeper because she's still around somehow. She's sucking the life and the talent of everybody on Motel.
Speaking of Motel,
He said that once.
speaking of Motel, we're gonna, I think next week. I feel like we should have saved black ass music for next week. Because the Grammys are happening as we speak. I think. Though I think I may play J Lo's Motown tribute.
Oh yeah, that I need to see that.
I want to see that, and I feel like I should have just like a bottle of some hard liquor
Hard
to take a shot
liquor.
every time she disrespects some song. Because J Lo is gorgeous. J Lo is a acceptable actress. She is not a vocalist. Like you can see the auto tune starting to sweat whenever she records something. Like it is a.
What does the original Take of Waiting for Tonight sound like without autotune?
Somebody stepped on a cat.
What?
No, don't disrespect Waiting for Tonight.
Waiting for
Don't disrespect Waiting
Song's
for Tonight.
garbage.
That is a gay hit.
Garbage.
Gay hit.
Garbage. Garbage. So, is there anything else?
Boy.
Is there anything else that
No.
you want to talk about?
You know what? For the second time in a row now, surprisingly,
Man.
I'm not fired up about. You know why I'm not actually? Ooh, do I want to talk about this on here? The reason why I'm the disaffected K today?
What is that? You can't just tell me that. And there's a lot of things we can
I'm gonna try to keep it as vague as possible. But some bullshit happened at work.
You're so good.
I'm
I ain't gonna stop you.
You know what? I'm not going to go too far into detail on it because a bitch still has bills to pay, so I'm not going to run that risk. Suffice to say that I was basically, like, it was said to me that I had better get a project done. Their words, not mine. I had better get a project done, which one implies a threat, and two, this project that I was working on did not have all the pieces for it, did not have all the pieces for it, did not have the required syncs for it, and was not going out for now 6 weeks.
That's a mess. I remember you telling me about this.
Like, I, in my life, have never been so infuriated at work. I was genuinely shaking with a combination of anxiety and unbridled rage. But yeah, I maintain this disaffected status, and that may end up being my adjective for a couple weeks or for reasons. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna.
I can talk about something that happened to me in my job now that we're on that.
Ooh, bitch, spill it.
So I'm working with. I work at a restaurant. That's about all I'll tell you guys. So my job as a host, I'm usually up front. So there's a couple of us up front doing multiple things, and like, if y'all know in the restaurant business, in most restaurant businesses, there's no end time. You work to volume. So you start at 10:30. You could get out at a certain time, like a range of time, but if it's packed and you got to stay for a little longer, they'll ask you to take a lunch. You're gonna be there for 6+ hours. It all depends. So I was working with some bitch. I hate to close with said bitch, but
Do we want to give said bitch a name, or we're gonna just keep calling them bitch?
bitch. So I can't think of a good name for them because
Cersei.
Cersei. Why?
Because I can't stand that bitch when she's on Game of Thrones.
I don't like that shit.
I'll look up a name or something. Go, bitch, go.
So this bitch, we were talking about how when you have multiple servers on deck on working on a shift, you seat them in an order so that everybody has a decent enough chance of getting a decent amount of tables and therefore a decent amount of money. Because servers work on servers' wage, which is $5-7 an hour or less. So all the money that they make and get to take home comes from tips. That's it. Whoever tells you otherwise is a liar. Anyway, So I'm like, dude, you have to serve. You gotta follow the order. He kept seating people out of order, just wherever he felt like seating them. I'm like, you can't keep doing that because more people have more tables than others, and the closers aren't gonna have any money while the people who opened have hella money. It's not fair. And so he goes, well, they'll deal with it. Mind you, this person also works as a server. How do you work as a server? And you know what they have to go through, you firsthand, and you sit there and go, "Oh well, they'll be all right, I guess. I don't care." You're a server, my dude. How can you not care about your other servers whose livelihood or part of their livelihoods depends on how many tables they get that night and what tips they leave?
Mm-hmm.
Also, another little rant: tip your motherfucking servers.
Tip your waitress.
Tip your waitress. Please, because when you order hundreds of dollars worth of food at your let me not read these people in the filth.
Read her. Read her.
Or like when you order $700 worth of food for your child's hockey team that lost because they can't play, and you don't tip your waitress, you wonder why you keep losing. Especially if it's a black woman, you just don't do that because you don't know who's a witch. You don't know who practices the craft, and they just put a hex on you, and your son will never win anything for their whole life. Just being real.
Got her in the got somebody in the back doing some brujeria.
Where do you think all those chicken bones go?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna start watching Siempre Bruja, which
we were excited about a couple episodes ago.
I was so excited about it, and then I read.
And then we found out what it ensues of, and never heard of it.
It's basically the Afro Latina version of how Stella got her white man back, featuring Harry Potter.
That wasn't. I don't even know what button to press for that. Just
yeah, but basically, Carmen is a 1600s bruja, which, from I believe Colombia,
somewhere. Yeah.
a former slave who was being burned at the stake, who somehow gets bamfed to modern times. And it's a bunch of LOL, she doesn't know how things work now.
And it's like, that's okay, I guess. All right, sure.
It's an overused trope, but I'll take it. But the fact of the matter is that unless I'm interpreting the plot wrong, her ultimate goal is to get back to slavery to return to her white lover.
This show's like a piece of garbage. Garbage.
You were just been waiting
I was trying to figure out when to press that button. That's a new sound we had, by the way. But yeah, garbage. Absolute disappointment.
Garbo, no Greta.
Just it stressed my soul out.
Like I said, I'm gonna watch it, and I think I'm gonna try live tweeting it while I watch it. So, but that's all I've got.
Same.
Okay, excellent. So, I guess that's a perfect segue. Since I'm going to be live tweeting that show, I'll drop my Twitter handle momentarily. But that wraps up yet another episode of the Baldwin Kids. If you've got any questions, comments, great ideas, or just want to say hi, shoot us an email at askthebkcast@gmail.com. Or you can give us a like and shoot us a DM on our Facebook page. Like I said in our last episode, we should be expanding to some new social media. Still working the kinks out on that, but follow our Facebook page and you'll be the first to hear about it. You can also get a hold of me on Twitter, where I'll be reading the hell out of Siempre Bruja. I am at the Iron Magnus. That's THEIRONMAGNUS.
And I've been saying my Twitter handle wrong this whole time.
Shows how much you use it.
Honestly. So apparently it's an underscore. I'm not even think UK. It's an underscore the Moon Dancer. Exactly how it sounds. I'm on Instagram as both house_of_fire, and I am on there as Vesta with 2 underscores.
Yes.
Thank you. Vesta with 2 underscores. That's my music page. But follow both of them. You can see my face and my music. Oh, a little announcement. I have a music video coming out for Pressure, a song that I made recently, and we're doing the outro. You can't be over here convulsing in laughter.
This is what you get for posting this on your fucking Twitter.
Oh, that's the one I've been trying to find. I'm sorry, y'all. So if y'all happen to have some free time, look up the Pretty Boy Swag Challenge. It's hilarious. Some of them have been dumb, and then I found one that made fun of Loretta Devine. Anyway, have a music video dropping soon for a song I made called Pressure. You guys have heard it. I have mentioned it a couple times, but follow me on there and on my Twitter, and you'll hear all about it there.
Okay, we are a TSRP Network podcast.
We are a TSRP Network podcast.
And we will see y'all next time. Do better.